This is VOA News. I'm Diane Roberts. Hundreds of millions of people worldwide are adjusting to unprecedented measures to battle the coronavirus pandemic. This as Johns Hopkins University releases new figures saying more than 200,000 people worldwide have been infected and more than 8,000 killed. Reuters' Olivia Chan has more.
The enemy is a virus, and now we have to do our utmost to protect our people and to protect our economies.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen confirmed that the EU would be closing off its external borders to curb the spread of coronavirus. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said the borders would be shut with immediate effect as other nations such as France follow suit, bringing in stringent restrictions on people's movement. As the EU scrambled to find a coherent response to the outbreak, many nation-states imposed their own border checks in what is normally a zone of control-free travel.
That's Reuters' Olivia Chan. Stocks in Asia bounced back Thursday, opening more than 2% higher after the European Central Bank launched an emergency plan to buy bonds in what one analyst said could be a game changer. In a surprise announcement, the ECB shared details of an $820 billion plan to purchase government and corporate bonds. The ECB said the so-called Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program will be stopped when the coronavirus crisis is judged to be over. U.S. stocks plunged Wednesday in trading amid investor uncertainty over the government's response to the coronavirus. Stock trader Matthew Cheslock says right now this is a health issue, not a financial one.
When the case numbers are going to jump, and if they jump incrementally, even with social distancing and shelter in place in effect, the numbers could increase, and that's going to lead to panic, and that's what we seem to have right now.
From Washington, this is VOA News. The Republican-controlled U.S. Senate Wednesday approved a $100 billion package that provides free coronavirus testing, paid sick leave, and expanded unemployment benefits. The House passed the measure overnight Friday, so the bill now goes to President Trump for his signature. Meanwhile, the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency has been activated at the highest level nationwide, and President Donald Trump says he'll invoke the Defense Production Act in case it's needed. That allows the government to marshal the private sector in response to the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. military will deploy 2 U.S. hospital ships to free up medical professionals and beds needed for coronavirus patients. One will deploy to New York Harbor soon, and the other location has yet to be determined.
We're hoping to better understand where there's demand on the hospital system that exceeds that hospital system's capacity. And then we'll work with HHS as the supported or the lead federal agency for this to decide what's the best capability if we're asked to help with that.
The other ship, the U.S. Comfort, will dock in New York Harbor in the coming weeks. During a news conference Wednesday, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo talked more about what it brings to battling the coronavirus pandemic.
It has about 1,000 rooms on it. It has operating rooms, but it will, it's literally a floating hospital, which will add capacity. And the president said that he would dispatch that immediately.
At the news conference, Governor Cuomo introduced a new mandatory regulation for the state that is seeing a spike in cases of the coronavirus as more testing becomes available. The statewide executive order excludes essential services such as food, pharmacy, and health care. A medical center in New York State has set up a tent for coronavirus testing. Marcia Kresge says she's trying to get tested to protect the people around her from having to go into self-isolation.
I was asked to work from home. But in my household, there are people that are working in healthcare and in food delivery. So I want to keep them safe, that they feel safe, that they're not going to be quarantined. Because I've been out. I was at work last week.
The Olympic Games in Tokyo are still 4 months away as the International Olympic Committee works on preparations in line with protecting athletes from the coronavirus. The committee had what it calls a constructive conference call Wednesday with 220 athletes' representatives. The IOC's president said they heard the concerns and will act in a responsible way. An IOC executive board member said they need to work together so athletes can safely participate in the 2020 Games. I'm Diane Roberts, VOA News.